Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name's David J. Burney.
I'm Brent Apperson. Good morning.
And on the phone line at this time, ready for a really big show, is our good friend, Drew Burwell, Broken Bow Livestock. Good morning, Drew. How you doing?
Morning. I'm doing great.
Good. How's the cattle biz?
Cattle business is good. Give you a little recap of what we got done last week. At Broken Bow and Burwell, we both had way up cows in pretty good feeder market sales. Had a replacement quality heifer sale there in Burwell, and kind of tell you how we got along. We called that cow market about 5 higher again this week in Broken Bow, and we called that feeder calf market about $15 higher. Had a lot of buyer attendance and had a lot of participation from the buyers. On the cow market, on those good cows, we were 78 to 85. On those medium type cows, we were 70 to 78. On the low end, we were 62 to 68. And on those bulls, we were 96 to $1.14. And it looks like that market's going to hold pretty steady again this week. When we got in the calf division there in Broken Bow, we had some 453-pound steers at 228. Had some 576-pound steers at 207. Had some 452-pound steers at 240. Had some 543-pound steers at 211, and had some 640-pound steers at $1.85. We got in the heifer division. We had some 641-pound heifers at $1.64. Had some 798-pound heifers at $1.55. Had some 662-pound heifers at $1.64. Had some 558-pound heifers at $1.82. We got over to Burwell on Friday, had a really strong market there. Give you a recap of what we got done there. We had some 497-pound steers at $225. Had some 580-pound steers at $1.99 Had some 673s at $1.83. Had some 572-pound steers at $213.50. Had some 708s at $1.76. Had some 820-pound steers at $1.66.75. And had some 900-pound steers at $1.61. And then we got in that replacement heifer division. These were awful nice heifers, and we had them go on to 5 different states. We had some 771-pound heifers at $1.59. Had some 733-pound replacement heifers at $1.72. Had some 765-pound replacement heifers at $1.67. And had some 811-pound Red Angus replacement heifers at $1.55 and a dime. That's kind of how we operated there last week. This week, got cow sales at both barns. Got a really nice cow sale here in line up in Broken Bow, expecting about 500 to 600 head of those layups. And then we're going to get right into those bred cows and dispersions at 11:30. We do have one registered bay gelding. He's 16 years old. He's ranch broke. He's 15 hands. He's gentle. Done everything on the ranch. He's papered, and he goes back to Doc Bar and Tiger Leo on the bottom side. He's coming from Jim Lewis. Jim Lewis sold his ranch out there at Arthur and stopped bringing the cows to town and just didn't have any use for the old bay. So if you're needing a good ranch horse, you want to get on this one. Then we got a nurse cow. Got one Jersey nurse cow, 9 years old, with black 2-month-old bull calf at side. She can be hand milked and doesn't have any problem taking on other calves. The calf has had its shots, and it's coming from Kent Olson. The breeding bull division, we got 5 registered black Angus bulls, 2 to 5-year-olds. They've all been purchased off the Pilikowski breeding bulls ranch. They've been used on a closed herd. No guarantee of semen and trick test on those, and those are coming from Jim Lewis. And then we got 3 red Sim Angus cross bulls coming 3 years old, semen and trick tested, coming from Jake and Lynn Johnson. In the dispersions, we got 111 black Angus cows. They're 7 years old. Every one of them is a 7-year-old. Registered black Angus bulls, those Palikowski bulls. They calved March 10th for 50 days. They've had the Vibrio Lepto, the Dectomax, or Cake Broke, they're 1 iron, and they're coming from Jim Lewis out of Arthur. And then we've got another dispersion. We got some black white-faced cows bred to black Angus bulls March 1st for 75 days. Cake Broke in general coming from Justin Sheldon. And then the bred cow division, and I'm calling this a dispersion even though they're keeping just a handful of younger cows. This is probably going to be one of the nicer set of red cows you're ever going to find in the country. There's 79 head of red cows, Red Angus cows, are 4 to 8 years old. Cooksley and Samber Ridge genetics, bred to Red Angus bulls, March 1st for 75 days, had a complete mineral and vaccination program. The cake broke super gentle and a super nice set of producing cows coming from Jeff Rupeck. And then right behind those cows, just been handled the same way. We got 50 head of red cows, 8 years old, Cooksley and Samber Red Genetics, bred to Red Angus bulls, March 1st, 75 days. Complete mineral program and cake program, and coming from Jeff's father-in-law, Tom Smith, over at Callaway. And then we got 20 head of Red Angus cows. They're first to third calvers. They're bred to Red Angus bulls, March 15th for 45 days. Complete vaccination program and complete mineral program. They're poured coming from Alex Barron. If you got any questions, give me a call, 308-872-1105, or give Justin French a call, 308-872-1421. Lining up some really nice calf sales here in the next coming weeks. Got a really nice sale next week. If you want us to come out and take a look and tell you what we kind of think that market's doing, just let us know. Once again, 308-872-1421.
All right, Drew, thanks a lot. Really got it going on. It's fun to hear all the producers out there coming to the barns, both Burwell and Broken Bow. Appreciate your report.
Well, appreciate you guys, and good luck to all the wrestlers down at State. We'll be listening. Brent, try to keep it under control there.
Well, I don't know. I've got to control Crawley and Patch, so I'll do my best.
Well, there's a lot of nightlife in Omaha, too, so you got to just kind of behave yourself when you're off the clock.
Well, we'll try.
All right.
Thanks, Drew.
Thanks, Drew.
A lot of nightlife. I like that. 7:37 is your time. You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. We appreciate that very much. Brent and Dave with you here on this Tuesday, and it is a busy Tuesday. We have basketball for you tonight, and here's my brother, my good friend, co-host, and neighbor to tell you about basketball tonight.
Okay, all of our area teams really pretty much in action tonight across the area with sub-district basketball. Here's what we'll be doing for you on our radio stations. On KCNI, we'll be up at the Indian Gym where Broken Bow starts play in the C110 girls sub-district. They'll play Kearney Catholic tonight. The Stars victorious last night over Cozad. So Broken Bow and Kearney Catholic tonight, tip at 5:30. That's on KCNI 96.3 FM, and with the early start time, 1280 AM as well, and KCNI1280.com. Then on KBBN 95.3 FM and KBBN.com, we'll be at the D27 sub-district in Myrna, and Selma Myrna is the top seed there. They'll play in Game 1 at 5:30, and then that'll be followed by Ansley Litchfield against Heartland Lutheran, and we'll have both of those games live on the air on KBBN Radio. And those games will also be provided with a live video stream as well, accompanied by the radio call, which you can access on the YouTube and Facebook pages of Sandhills Express. So that's where we'll be tonight.
All right, thank you, Brent. Birthdays today, locally. Now, we had one yesterday. I was text later on in the show, and then we got busy talking about our first kiss and Valentine's Day. Some very important information. And we didn't get this on. I didn't see it until later in the day, but I did want to wish a belated happy birthday to Emma Pearson. She is celebrating a birthday yesterday, and she is a young teenager, very active, wonderful young lady. Happy birthday, Emma. That comes to you from your family. Kenzie Blakeman is celebrating a birthday today. And also Samuel Shent is 21 today. Huh. Way to go, Sam. Amy Saborin is celebrating a birthday today. So happy birthday to you folks out there. And Mr. Mick Patch celebrating his birthday today.
Yeah, right. And your wife called in this morning, and I think we need to add Audrey Holcomb to that list as well.
Audrey?
Yeah.
Audrey Holcomb. Oh, Audrey. I'm just surprised Audrey wasn't born on Valentine's Day because she's so sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about Mick. Yeah, thanks for saying that. Yeah, Mr. Patch. His birthday is today.
Yep. So happy birthday to you if you're having one. If you're celebrating your birthday today, you're celebrating with Matt Groening, who is 68, cartoonist, created the long-running animated show The Simpsons. Mm-hmm. Also, Jane Seymour.
Actress.
Yes, she starred as Dr. Quinn in Medicine Woman. And played a very aggressive mother of The Bride in Wedding Crashers, and now co-stars on CBS sitcom Be Positive, which I've never seen before. Have you?
I have not.
She also was in a very interesting movie with what was it? With Superman, who was injured in a horse accident.
Oh, Christopher Reeves?
Christopher Reeves and Jane Seymour in a very intense love story.
Oh.
Christopher Reeves found out how to go back. Well, he went back in time kind of accidentally, and he met Jane. She was an actress.
I see.
They fell madly in love. The actress's manager did not like him at all, but they were able to sneak off and get their first kiss in. And then I'll leave it. If you get a chance, see it. It's a heartbreaker.
Okay. She was a Bond girl, too, I think.
She was?
I think so. Yeah, I think she was in one of the old Bond movies.
Really?
I can't remember if it was with Sean Connery or Roger Moore. Can't remember which one.
Boy, I don't.
But yeah, she was a Bond girl. I'm pretty sure.
Huh, I'll be darned. Also, Melissa Manchester is 71 today. And, of course, she had a lot of pop hits in the 70s and 80s. So happy birthday to you if you're having one today. This is also National Singles Awareness Day.
Singles Awareness Day. Okay.
It's kind of a day set aside to say, it's all right if you're not married, if you don't want to be married. Okay. It reminds us there's nothing wrong with, going along through life single if you want to. But your aunt's going to keep asking you when you get married. When are you going to get married, honey? When are you going to get married? It's also, and this is a very important one, International Childhood Cancer Day. Every year, more than 400,000 children and teens are diagnosed with some form of cancer. And the goal of the World Health Organization is to cut childhood cancer deaths by 60% by the year 2030. Poorer countries have a survival rate as low as 20%. So we're even lucky in that category living in this well-developed country, but I think that's a great goal. It's International Childhood Cancer Day. It's also Susan B. Anthony Day. I didn't know. Why is it? Was she from Florida?
Oh, wow. I don't know.
It must have been. It's an official state holiday in Florida.
Oh.
Champion for, I think most of us know she was a champion for women's rights, equal pay, the end of slavery. Was born on this day in 1820. And she passed away, unfortunately, in 1906, 14 years before the 19th Amendment gave women the right to vote. Doesn't that seem weird now? Mm-hmm. That women weren't able to vote? Wow.
Yeah.
Winter Olympics, Day 13, if you're interested in that. Big controversy over the little Russian athlete who...
the figure skater.
Yeah, she was, as they say in the business, doped.
Yeah. Failed a drug test.
Yeah, but they went ahead and let her participate. It's typical Olympics when it comes to that problem. Like.
Always a shame when those things arrive in the Olympics. Just takes away from the competition, unfortunately.
What'd you get your wife for Valentine's Day, Brent?
For the first time, I think, ever, I had flowers delivered.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, for the first time in a long time, I got flowers, but I don't think I've ever had them delivered
to the house
somewhere. But I had
or
them
maybe to work.
Yeah, had them delivered to her while she was at work yesterday. So there you go.
Well, I went out. Steve kind of gave me the idea, so I went out the grocery cart and bought some roses.
I'm sure you weren't the only one.
No, there was a very nice gentleman right ahead of me.
Yes,
he was buying some flowers and candy.
Uh-huh.
He had some Reese cups, I think. So I hope you had a great Valentine's Day, and we just wish you the best from this point on. Let's make every day Valentine's Day.
There you go.
This is an important day. On February 15th, this is the final day for incumbents to file for office. And the deadline is at 5 o'clock today. So if you're in an office and you're going to rerun for that office, today is the final day for you to be able to do that if your term is up in whatever you're serving. And for serving, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Kind of a thankless job sometimes when you're in an office. And locally, we need these folks to serve in these offices, whatever it may be. If you're thinking about running for a political office, non-incumbents have until March 1st at 5 p.m.
All right.
Thank you. I think that came from Mr. Higgins. Higgy Baby, Sandhills man.
Yeah.
Want to play the game?
Well, sure, let's do.
You want to do school lunch menus? Which would you rather do, brother?
Well, let's do menus first.
All right.
I'll start.
Thanks, neighbor.
Broken Bow Middle and High School today. I'm sorry. Day after Valentine, it'd be the 15th, right? Okay, thank you. Soft shell. Boy, I'm just off to a great start. Let's play the game instead. I can't read the menu. Soft shell beefy tacos at Broken Bow today. Fish nuggets with dinner roll. Fresh baked turkey and cheese sub. Fajita salad with tortilla chips. That's your menu at Broken Bow Middle and High School.
Thank you very much. Callaway today, they are having on this 15th day barbecued meatballs.
All right. Arcadia today, chicken noodle soup.
Anselmo Myrna, soft shell beefy tacos, fish nuggets with dinner roll, chef salad with roasted flatbread, refried beans, fruit and veggie bar, fresh baked chocolate chip cookie, and milk.
Ansley, chicken nuggets today at Ansley.
At Thedford, roast beef, mashed potatoes, carrots, and dinner roll.
Litchfield today, nachos for lunch at Litchfield.
Sumner, Eddyville, Miller. Today they're having ham and scalloped potatoes.
Sandhills today in Dunning, McRib sandwich, tried tater, and peach cobbler. Some of your choices at Gothenburg today will include a barbecue pork sandwich, fiestada, and pizza. That's at Gothenburg. And at Sargent today, they're going to be serving pizza, corn, fruit or berry crisp, milk and salad bar. That's at Sargent today.
Thank you. Today on The Breakfast Show, we'll be giving away a $25 gift card in honor of our Love Local promotion to the Foo Bar and Grill in Anselmo. And that will be coming up later on in the show. Tomorrow it will be a certificate to RT Ace Hardware here in Broken Bow.
All right, as we play the game, it's Tuesday, so that means Tumbleweed Day. Chance to win a delicious tumbleweed meal from the Tumbleweed. And with yesterday being Valentine's Day, this week we're asking questions about love songs.
That's nice.
All right, today we're taking you back to 1984. Stevie Wonder sang the #1 hit, I Just Called to Say I Love You.
Oh, I remember that one.
All right, so we're going to play Finish the Lyric. Okay?
All right.
Finish the lyric. Here we go. I just called to say I love you. I just called to say how much You finish it. Here are your choices. Dream, care, fear, or cry. If you know, call us at 872-2801.
There's not hate in there?
No.
The phone is ringing. We'll pick it up.
7 days a week, when you're looking for a home-cooked meal, look no further than the Tumbleweed Cafe on East Highway 2. They feature daily lunch specials that are a great pick-me-up in the middle of your day. Don't forget, you can order online and pick up too, or make use of their handy drive-thru for extra fast, home-style food. They love serving Central Nebraska with the classics, from burgers and fries to chicken fried steak and pies at the Tumbleweed Cafe, East Highway 2, Broken Bow.
We have Tia on the line. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm wonderful.
Did you get what you wanted for Valentine's Day?
I did. I got a new blanket and some chocolate.
Oh, that sounds very nice. Somebody loves you.
I think somebody does love me.
All right, Tia, here's your question. Finish the lyric of this 1984 Stevie Wonder hit. I just called to say how much I
Care.
care. You got it. Well done. And because you've answered correctly, we got a certificate that'll get you a free tumbleweed meal at the Tumbleweed Cafe in Broken Bow. So just stop on out and see us.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. And, we need to remember that our cheerleaders are going to state, too, on Friday. So, cheer them on, too, as all our guys are going to state.
Well, yeah.
Are they, Tia, are they in Grand Island? Is that at the Heartland Event Center?
They are in Grand
Okay.
Island on Friday.
Okay.
And I think after the game on Thursday, we're all going to meet out and wish them good luck as they leave town.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, good idea. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great day, guys.
Yep, you too. All right, real quick, we're going to take a break because guess who's here? It's Logan. Stay tuned.
Geared for Sports in Broken Bow loves cookies, and right now they will share their cookies with you. Through the month of February, for every $50 purchase, you will get a box of Girl Scout cookies in support of our local Girl Scouts. Be preparing for those upcoming seasons. Time to gear up now for track, baseball, and softball. Whether you're an athlete or a fan, remember, if they don't have it, talk to Scott, and he'll try to get it for you. Geared for Sports, on the Square in Broken Bow.
For those 62 years of age and for those that are handicapped or disabled regardless of their age, the Grand Generation Manor in Galloway has affordable housing available. An equal housing opportunity provider and employer. They're located at 200 South Grand Avenue in Galloway. The Grand Generation Manor.
All right, Logan is here from Arrow Seed in Broken Bow, Nebraska. How you doing, Logan?
Oh, not too bad.
Good, good.
Yeah.
I apologize for my brother singing over here, my neighbor. He can't help himself. He
What do you mean? Now, wait a minute. That was the game.
It was a beautiful...
It was finish the lyric. What? What do you want me to do? Just read it? You got to sing it. It was finish the lyric.
It was beautiful, I thought.
Thank you, Logan.
You should probably have your own record label.
Well,
wow.
man,
Gee.
I'm humbled by that statement. Thank you.
How's things at Arrow Seed?
Oh, doing pretty good.
Good.
Are you guys familiar with milk cows?
Somewhat. Milked a few when we were younger.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, did the stool you guys sat on to milk, did it only have 3 legs?
One,
actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you know why that is, don't you?
No.
Well, it's because the cow has the udder. That's why.
Okay. Well, it's good to know. Wondered all these years why there was only one leg. It was always hard to balance.
Yeah.
The cow had the
Udder.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, today's a big day, right?
Yes, it's the last day to register, I believe, for our soil health conference coming up next week.
Next week. Is
It's
that a week?
hard to believe. It's a week from Wednesday, I think.
Okay. All right. So this is it. This is last day for registration.
Yes.
All right.
And it's starting to fill up fairly quickly.
Good. Good. Well, don't wait too long, folks, because they need to know how many meals to make, right?
Exactly. Yes. I can't take home all of the extra meals.
No.
So we need to have a good number
Yeah.
of mouths that we need to feed so we don't end up going way over or way under.
Okay. All right.
So,
They just call in to do that?
yes. You can either call in, you can go to arrowseed.com, or you can stop in and register.
Okay.
So
All right.
and this is free, correct?
it is.
Okay.
It is free. Free for free.
There you go.
Yes.
And real quick, what are some of the things that they can probably find out on your website, but let's kind of give an overview of what will be covered.
So it's on cover crops, soil health, but it's how to integrate your cattle into that equation. So if you graze it, how's that going to benefit your herd as well as your soil? And we've got a really good lineup of speakers. Robbie Johnson, who used to work at
Sure.
Arrow, is the Gallagher fencing rep. He'll be speaking on how to integrate some of those products, into temporary paddocks and rotational grazing.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be fun.
Yeah. He's always been when he's into something, he's into it. So it's going
Exactly.
Yeah, that'll be helpful.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, get signed up for that. so we can save you a plate at the dinner table.
Yeah, and I would think this year, just because we're so dry right now, we're hoping for some rain coming into the typical rain months. And whatever we get, we're going to want to put to use as best we can, so that rotation might be bigger this year than ever.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. You know, if we don't start getting some moisture, pastures aren't going to be what they need to be to sustain a longer grazing season. So guys might start having to explore other options.
Right. Okay.
So,
okay. A week from tomorrow.
yes.
Okay. What else?
The
you have
23rd.
The 23rd.
So,
What else you want to talk about?
well, springtime. It's the past couple days have been pretty awesome. I'm starting to hear robins in the morning. You know, that's a good sign that spring is around the corner. We do a lot of deer food plots and trail cameras and deer feeders. Right now is the best time to get the feeders and the trail cameras out, so you can, you know, start building them up for next season. Deer are going to start losing their antlers. They're going to start shedding, but it's really cool to look at a trail camera and go, well, they've got both sides on Monday, and then you check it on Thursday and go, oh, they're missing a side. So they've dropped one antler in that time, or both of them, but it gives you a good idea of when to go out and start looking for the Easter eggs.
Yeah. Go antler hunting.
Exactly.
All right.
And it's fun when the weather's nice and mild in the springtime. You know, it can be a good family outing.
And is that just when people get those, is that just to collect them, or is there a place you take them? Or
So a lot of them I actually give to my dog as a chew toy.
Oh, really?
But you can sell them.
Okay.
So there's a few antler buyers that travel through the area that, you know, they'll give you X amount per pound.
I see.
So
Okay.
But most of those get chopped up into smaller chunks for dog chew toys.
Anyway.
So
Okay. All right. Very good.
But,
It does
and
sound
it's
like fun.
and you know, it's fun. It's a good way just to get out.
Yeah.
You know, and there's not really a season happening. You know, ice fishing might not be in the equation because the ice might not be safe, but there might be just too much ice that you can't get a boat in. You know,
Yeah.
so it's fun just to get out.
Yeah, just
outdoors.
get outside.
Yep.
And you said a good family activity.
It is. We've gone out as a family of 3 in the past, and now we'll be able to go out as a family of 4.
Yeah, now you have another antler hunter.
Exactly.
All right.
That I'll have to carry the whole time.
At least for a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe a nap will be in store there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will let them go shed hunting, and I will nap.
Okay. No, wait.
That's how that works, right?
I wasn't thinking about it that way, but you do it however you want. Whatever works. What else you have for us?
So for food plots, which we do a lot of, I'm sure a lot of the folks listening are turkey hunters as well.
All right.
So food plots can be more for than just deer. They can be for turkeys too.
Ah.
So we've got a couple really good food plots. Our full potential would be an alfalfa and clover mix. So that's a perennial mix, which means you plant it once, and you know it's going to last 4 or 5 years down the road. The cool thing with that mix is when that alfalfa blooms, when that clover blooms in there, it's going to attract insects. Insects attract birds. Turkeys are a bird. Turkeys are going to come into the food plot, and there you have it.
There you have it.
You've brought the turkeys into the food plot.
And they'll return after they found it, right?
They will. Yeah. Yep. And the other cool thing with that is sometimes the turkeys will nest in it. So it can be a place that they come back to year after year to lay those eggs.
And the good news there is there won't be any alfalfa cut through there. And
exactly.
So their nest won't be damaged.
Yep.
Okay.
So the other mix that we've got that would work really good for turkeys is our trophy banquet mix. And that's another perennial mix, but it's got a couple different things that are not what you would normally think of. So it's got the alfalfa and clover. It's also got chicory and orchard grass in it. So it's a little bit more diverse of a mix, but it's still a good perennial mix. Turkeys eat grass seed. They don't just eat insects. They eat about anything.
Yeah.
So when that orchard grass is green and growing, it's going to attract your deer, but as soon as it starts heading out and putting on a seed, it's going to attract those turkeys as well.
And I suppose, depending on the lay of the land, some of the things you described kind of reminds me of what pheasant eat. They like bugs.
Exactly.
And they like some of the same things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Back in the day when there was a good small grain rotation, there was a lot of alfalfa in the ground.
Mm-hmm. And
with that alfalfa brought a good food source and nesting source for birds of all kinds.
Right. Okay. So you're setting up for maybe turkeys, but it's going to be beneficial to lots of different species.
Right. And we've had some folks that'll plant these perennial mixes just strictly for habitat. They might not hunt, but they want to benefit. Maybe they've got some other people that hunt. Maybe they just like nature in general.
Want to go out and take a look.
Yep.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with setting up a camera just to watch.
No.
Yeah.
If you've never used trail cameras before, there is nothing better than going through a bunch of trail camera pictures because of the stuff that you would never see otherwise.
Right. See how they act when nobody's around.
Exactly. And there's some stuff that you look at and you go, well, I didn't know that was here, or where'd that come from?
Mm-hmm.
Or I've never seen a deer do that. It's cool if you've never ran a trail camera. I've put trail cameras about everywhere before, not only for deer. I've set them up for birds. I've set them up for turkeys. I've actually set them up for raccoons before.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, it can be cool, especially if you find an old abandoned house that you have permission to explore.
Mm-hmm.
And you set a trail camera up, you can get some really unique shots of animals inside that house.
Wow. That would be interesting.
It's cool.
Yeah. Also for security as well.
Yes. The Moultrie cameras that we've got have an invisible flash, so you don't even know at night, you don't know that it's taking your picture.
So be good out there.
Yes. Brent.
Yes.
I would
All
suggest getting one to put on your porch.
Oh.
For your unruly neighbors that might.
Hey, that's that's a great idea.
Just a little blanket of security for you.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be more likely to bother him during the day than the night, but he might be watching a ball game and I could sneak up on him. So that camera, he could look up and see me coming.
Yeah, it's just Dave.
Yeah. So come and see us. We've got I've said it before. Our name's Arrow Seed,
right?
But we do so much more than seed.
All right. Yes. Stop into the store and take a look around, and you can always pick up the phone and make that reservation for the upcoming presentations a week from tomorrow. And you can also call and book some seed and that sort of thing as well.
Yes. I would like to mention on our alfalfa that we do still have the prepaid discounts. We've got I believe it's a 4% discount going on until March 10th.
Okay.
That's if you pay for the seed. You don't have to pick it up today. You don't have to pick it up tomorrow. Just book it and pay for it, and then pick it up when you need it.
Okay. All right, Logan. Thanks.
So, thanks, guys.
Milk cow. All right, news is next.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. Newly released video shows a growing Russian military buildup on the Ukrainian border. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg.
Russia has amassed a fighting force in and around Ukraine, unprecedented since the Cold War.
U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin headed to Brussels for a meeting with NATO counterparts. Oil industry analysts say an invasion could drive soaring U.S. gas prices even higher. CBS's Errol Barnett.
We're talking about a domino effect here that will eventually be felt at American gas pumps. So certainly what happens overseas could definitely hit you in your wallet.
Price of oil already at its highest level in 8 years. A mega drought in the U.S. West makes history. CBS's Vicki Barker.
Tree ring data now shows the 22-year period between the year 2000 and 2021 was the driest since the year 800, which is the earliest we have data for.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Here is a look at state news. I'm Gavin Higgins. A stolen vehicle has been recovered after a collision in the metro area. The Lincoln Police Department said that on January 26th, a gray Mazda Tribute was left unlocked and running behind a residence. Authorities said that the vehicle's 35-year-old owner saw a male enter the running vehicle and steal it. The Mazda was valued at approximately $1,500. Officials said that around 11 a.m. on February 12th, a woman was driving south on 48th Street in her vehicle when the stolen Mazda pulled out in front of her on J Street, causing a collision. LPD said the man exited the driver's seat and a female exited the front passenger seat, then both ran from the scene. Officials said officers arrived and confirmed the Mazda was the same that had been stolen on January 26th. Authorities said inside the Mazda, the officers found an extensive amount of stolen tools, clothes, and personal items. Officials said that work is still being done to identify the owners of some of these stolen items. The total value of the stolen items in the Mazda is unknown at this time. The investigation is currently ongoing, and anyone with information is encouraged to contact the Lincoln Police Department. Authorities have arrested a man in connection with the murder of 19-year-old Jasmine Washington. Omaha police announced on Monday that they had arrested 26-year-old Devell Giles of Omaha. They booked Giles in connection to the murder of Washington, which happened July 4, 2021. Giles was booked for second-degree murder and use of a weapon to commit a felony. On the morning of July 4th last year, Omaha responded to a caller reporting multiple gunshots in the area. The incident left 1 dead and 5 injured. The Omaha Police Department said that officers responded to the area of 24th and Lake Street, where multiple gunshots were heard. OPD officials said that when officers arrived to 2311 North 24th Street, they located a female suffering from a gunshot wound. Authorities said that Omaha Fire Department medics transported Washington to a local hospital where she later died from her injuries. Additional victims arrived to the hospital in private vehicles, 2 20-year-olds, a 26-year-old, a 35-year-old, and a 50-year-old. All 5 were injured by gunfire, receiving non-life-threatening injuries. This is an ongoing investigation.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
News from the NFL, where Arizona Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray released a statement following a report that some of the organization have called him selfish and a finger pointer. Murray said in part on Instagram, quote, "All of this nonsense is not what I'm about, never has been, never will be," end quote. Murray recently removed all content that included any mention of the Cardinals from his social media accounts. Murray is heading into the final year of his rookie contract, and Arizona has until May 2nd to pick up his 5th-year option. In NBA games of note, the Clippers beat the Warriors 119-106 despite 33 points from Golden State Steph Curry. DeMar DeRozan goes for 40 points, leading the Bulls over the Spurs 120-109. Jazz won their 6th in a row, beating the Rockets 135-101. Nuggets knock off the Magic 121-111. Trailblazers beat the Bucks in Milwaukee 122-107. And the Nets snap an 11-game losing skid, beating the Kings 109-85. Just one ranked team in action in college basketball. Number 6 Kansas, a winner over Oklahoma State 76-62.
Here's your weatherology forecast. High temperatures working up to 60 degrees for today. We'll have partly sunny skies. Winds a bit breezy from the south. Then for tonight, mostly cloudy and breezy. Winds turning to the north around 15 to 20 miles per hour. Low temperatures dropping back into the lower 20s. For Wednesday, returning to the mid-30s for highs. A slight chance for some light snow into the afternoon. For the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Michael Carroll.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness, modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply. and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Oh, boy. 24 degrees outside under a partly to mostly cloudy sky. Winds are not a factor so far today. Again, it is very, very dry out there, as you folks know, and there's no burning of any kind really allowed. You'll be ticketed if they see you burning anything. Barometric pressure is at 2981, so that's down 2 points. Humidity at 69%. High yesterday was 48, an overnight low of 21. Sunset at 6:11 today. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 7:33. Nothing measurable so far this month of February. That's a look at weather and news at 8 on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Brett and Dave with you here on this Tuesday. We have more guests coming in from Click Family Healthcare. We'll be visiting with Mark Stock with Big Iron Auction Company. We're going to tell you about some different things coming up or jobs available or activities coming up. And that's just part of what we're going to do. I don't know really what the rest of the show is going to be. I'm just going to be honest about it. But I would like to play a little Dave and Alan Coe this morning.
Oh, hey, there you go.
This one always kind of tickles the funny bone when you listen to it. It's about a real country song from David Allan Coe.
Well, it was all that I could do.
Louisville, Kentucky. So we're going to cover the country, okay, and we're going to get the word out about this rock and this doghouse, just like we do about all of the ag equipment that we sell and the livestock that we sell and all of the transportation and construction equipment. So I think we're up for the challenge to sell the rock that went through the doghouse.
There you go.
Right. Now, Mark, they're saying there that this house, because it was struck by the space rock, there was a dog in it. The dog was not injured. He's not for sale, but they think the house, they want $300,000 for the dog house and $80,000 for the rock itself. Could Big Iron possibly make more than that for the seller?
You know, there is a tremendous amount of money in the country right now, and there are a lot of people spending money on stuff that blows our mind every day. And you just never know.
Okay.
We talk to people that are taking money out of their 401k because they hit 59.5 and they don't want to put in the stock market. Maybe they'll put in a doghouse and a rock.
There you go. There you go. Well, we know you have all sorts of things that move every week on Big Iron. Tell us what's going on.
Well, you know, we've got I'll finish off on the farm show scene in sector, folks. We go to over 170 different farm shows across the United States every year. And we do that because we want to make sure that everybody knows that the seller's equipment is for sale on our website. And last year we had a little over 6.5 million different people that were on BigIron.com throughout the year. So that's a lot of people looking at the equipment that is being sold, a lot of people looking at the land that's being sold, a lot of people looking at the livestock now that's being sold. In fact, the livestock that sold last week, one of the sellers, I talked to him after the sale was all over. I said, "What'd you think?" And he says, "You know, I had calls from people 4 states away asking about my animals." And he says, "That's a good, comforting feeling, knowing that I can get my genetics spread out through a broader base than what he's customarily used to." So, and the same thing happens with the machinery, as the average piece of machinery right now in Big Iron is moving over 305 miles. So there is a demand for equipment all across the country, and if you've got equipment you would like to sell, we definitely would like to talk to you, because we're listing equipment now that will sell here in the month of April and into May, and we've even got folks that have contacted us saying they want to have their retirement sale in August. We've even got some folks that said they are retiring and they want to have their sale here in November and December. Let's do the steps necessary to make sure that we have a very successful auction. So if you are anywhere in that mindset, pick up the phone and get a hold of your area rep, or get a hold of Ryan Harbour or Henry Nuxel or Matt Cope or Ryan Harder. We've got some really good people that will be more than happy to help you prepare for your sale. Now, the equipment that we're selling on BigIron.com this week features some equipment right here by Callaway, Nebraska, Country Partners Cooperative. They've got a John Deere 4940 self-propelled sprayer that's selling. They've also got a big Case IH Titan 4530 dry fertilizer applicator. So get a hold of the fine folks that are selling that equipment. In fact, that dry fertilizer applicator, the current high bidder on it right now is from North Dakota. So that's kind of the power of Big Iron, how it gets people from all across the country looking at items that is being sold to the highest bidder. Now, we do have a lot of other equipment being sold in the area. Ish Dairy Inc. is retiring out of Gridley, Kansas. They have 140 items, including a John Deere 7810 mechanical front tractor. They've got a John Deere 670 combine. It's a 2017 model with just a little over 600 hours on the separator. They've got a whole bunch of other items, 146 items altogether for those folks as they are retiring. James Knapp is in Ord, Nebraska. He's got a 2015 Vermeer 605N cornstalk special round baler. They've got a mobile home, too, that's going to be selling for those folks right there in Ord, Nebraska. They've got several other items on the sale as well, so dial up the Big Iron website to get a full rundown of those items selling for James Knapp. We've also got good quality equipment, folks, that are selling throughout the region, and we want to draw your attention to some equipment selling in Lodgepole, Nebraska. If you are in the market, folks, we've got 97 items selling for Bascaland LLC. A lot of good quality equipment selling on that particular sale, a lot of older items as well, some collectible stuff on that sale. Over by Comstock, Nebraska, Bradley Nagorski has got a 2006 Titan Classic Triaxle Gooseneck livestock trailer. They've also got a John Deere 1770 Series Max Emerge Plus front folding 16-row 30 planter. Those items are selling in Comstock, Nebraska, coming up in just 2 days on the Big Iron. In fact, tomorrow on BigIron.com. My days are eluding me already, but those items will be selling to the highest bidder. And Adams Land and Cattle Company, folks, they're right here in Broken Bow, and they're selling equipment on BigIron.com and several items, folks. They've got a John Deere 1720 Max Emerge 12-row 30 planter. They got a Hinneker flail stalk cutter blades, too, that'll be selling right from the good folks at Adams Land and Cattle. And the list goes on and on as we've got a lot of good quality equipment from throughout the area. Bailey Manufacturing Company in Columbus, Nebraska, they've got a lot of good quality gates and tanks and building equipment. John Isaacson is from Loomis, Nebraska, folks. They've got a Case IH Magnum 275 mechanical front tractor. It's a 2010 model machine, and boy, is it a nice one. Omaha Public Power District, we've been doing business with those folks since 1995. So a long run of good working relationship with the folks at Omaha Public Power District. They got a 2001 Case 580M loader backhoe with an extender hoe. They've got several other items as well, including a Ford Escape. If you need a four-wheel drive sedan with an EcoBoost, that item selling. They've also got a 1,000-gallon gas tank that's got its enclosed impoundment sitting right there. They've got a Jeep Patriot Sport 4x4 SUV that's going to be selling for those folks as well. So check out Omaha Public Power District. All that equipment selling to the highest bidder on the sale tomorrow on BigIron.com. Plus the Phil and Mary Heidemann retirement sales in Dakin, Nebraska. Some outstanding Case IH equipment. Case IH Early Riser 1250 at the 12-row 30 planter. They've also got a Blue Jet 11 knife and hydrous applicator. They got a Case IH 4800 series Vibra Shank. They got a 1992 International 4900 series grain truck that's super sharp. They got a Case IH 5088 combine and some heads as well that are selling. If you need a Peterbilt, folks, check out the Peterbilt 389 selling in Lee, Nebraska. And also check out the John Deere 2510 high-speed and hydrous applicator machine that's getting a lot of attention selling out of Strasburg, Nebraska. I'm just dropping a few names and a few items here that are selling, guys and gals, on BigIron.com. If you don't see what you're looking for this week, make sure you check out next week. And if you're looking for livestock or classic cars, we've got those items as well selling here to the highest bidder. Go to BigIron.com for all the latest and greatest information. And once again, thank you so much for supporting the Big Iron website and the Big Iron rep. And we appreciate the fine support, and we'll continue to work hard to meet everybody's goals and expectations when they list to sell equipment on Big Iron.
All right, Mark, thanks so much. I think it's great that you use all this technology to do what you're just describing here, which is amazing, and then still get out and do 170 face-to-face shows all over the country. Shows that you believe in marketing in all different ways. We love following your sales and what you're up to.
Thank you very much. Couldn't do it without having a real good team of people, and we couldn't do it without having the help of your radio station. Keep the word out. So thank you guys and gals so very much.
Have a great day. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, it's 8:30. You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Our next guest, I believe, is in the lobby, and we'll get our next guest in here, and I believe we're going to talk about food, but maybe not the way we usually talk about it.
Okay.
It's about your diet.
It's a good topic.
Eating properly.
Good.
For your health. I believe that's what we're going to be talking about. If I'm wrong, well, that won't be the first time today.
Okay.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more.
Hello, cattlemen. This is J.W. Simonson with Minard Simonson Angus, inviting you to our annual bull sale Saturday, February 19th. We will be featuring 110 yearling Angus bulls and 20 commercial heifers. Also, by private treaty, 100 first calf heifer pairs. View our catalog and video at MinardSimonson.com or join us on Facebook or contact myself at 308-880-0079. That's Minard Simonson Annual Bull Sale, Saturday, February 19th, 1 p.m. at the ranch near Dunning, Nebraska.
Barney Health Mart in Broken Bow would love to see you during February. Their circular has some wonderful savings on items you often need, and they have a great selection of over-the-counter items. Have a card-giving occasion coming up? Check out the wide selection of cards. The pharmacy and store staff at Varney Health Mart look forward to seeing you soon in downtown Broken Bow. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Caring for you and about you. Varney Health Mart.
Love local as we start the new year. KCNI KBBN is giving away $25 gift cards to these area businesses and more on The Breakfast Show.
Geared for sports and Bow Bootery, both on the square in Broken Bow. RT Ace Hardware of Broken Bow, the Callaway Market, and Varney Health Mart, downtown Broken Bow.
Keep listening for your chance to win on The Breakfast Show. And remember, love local.
8:32. Yes, we are going to talk about health. And Brent, I think we need to pay attention because I don't think we're that healthy, to be honest with you. We're radio guys. Radio guys are not usually very healthy because we sit on our rear ends all the time.
We definitely could exercise more.
Yes, we could. And we have Dr. Jacob Peterson with Click Family Healthcare with us, who we met a couple of weeks ago. Doctor, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure to be here.
I've been looking forward to it after our last conversation because we touched upon what you specialize in. But before we get to that, let's talk a little bit about how things are going now that you're settling in with the clinic here in Broken Bow and Kearney. How's it going?
Going pretty good. You know, John doesn't abuse me too bad. So
that's good. That's good.
No, he's been great, and it's good to practice in this new model where I can take the time to not only gather more information from patients and really learn who they are, which is probably the most important step into determining how to treat them, but also gives me a little more flexibility on, truly learning the science by what I'm trying to teach them in order to help them towards longevity or a longer, healthier life.
A quality of life, right. And also, before we get too far into diet and so forth, I think you announced last time when you were here about your ability to do carpal tunnel surgery, if I remember correctly, in a new way. Is that?
Yeah. So the technique's been around for probably 10 years. The device that I use that has a little bit more safety feature to it, it's been around for about 6 years, I believe. And I learned how to do it about 1.5 years ago. This device allows me to make a 4mm incision instead of a couple inch incision. I can do it under the ultrasound, so the advantage there is I can safely see everything, nerves, arteries, the actual ligament that I want to cut, and watch it all in real time so that we know we're making a safe cut the whole way through, and if at any point it doesn't become safe, we don't make the cut.
You don't do it. And recovery time is much faster that way.
The studies would show 3 to 5 days. The data that the company collects on me shows 1.6 days average.
That's amazing.
So,
because anybody that's been around a while had a friend or had it done themselves 15 years ago or even more recent, it was a lengthy comeback from that.
Yeah, that's actually one of the reasons I learned how to do this is I had a family friend who I worked on their farm, and he was laid up for about 2 months not being able to use his wrists. And, of course, they can only do one at a time, that old technique, because they didn't want you to not be able to use any of your hands.
Yeah.
So when I heard I could do both at the same time and people could go back to doing their normal lively activities in 2 days, I was pretty sold on learning the technique.
Glad you did. That makes it available here in Custer County. And anybody out there has been putting that off, I'd maybe think they might want to come and set up a time to visit with you.
Yeah. When it comes to carpal tunnel syndrome, they show that probably half the people that need it done wait way too long and actually have permanent nerve damage. And the reason they wait, who can take 2 weeks off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the longest I think I've had someone not want to go back to work was a week, just to make sure everything was safe. But I have people who are truck drivers and lawnmowers professionally, and they go back to work saying, I put pressure on the mower by pushing it with my hand that you did surgery on next day. And he's like, that one didn't hurt. I wish you could have done the other one.
Yeah. Well, I used former co-host, Bob Bowles, who worked with me here for a long time, a musician, and he kept putting it off because he didn't want to, he was afraid if he had it and it didn't go right, he wouldn't be able to play the guitar anymore,
Right.
And so people who do things that are, take that dexterity, sometimes put it off because they're afraid it won't be the same afterwards, or it won't be back to where it was before they had it. So,
yeah. Well, in the surgery that I do, there's no change really in the dexterity and the function of the fingers and the hand, more so than what the carpal tunnel syndrome has already created.
I see.
And then the other big factor was, when's it often going to flare? Well, for someone who's a spray pilot, probably during heavy spray season.
Yeah, exactly.
For a truck driver, it's probably when they're using it the most.
Yep.
It's heavy trucking season.
So
if you can give me a day or two off,
back at it again.
Exactly.
Well, that's fantastic. Let's move from the wrist or the hand to the stomach, shall we?
Sure.
You kind of review that again. We talked about it last time. We have probably some listeners that weren't listening last time you were here, and kind of refresh the ones who were, that you kind of specialize in diet and so forth to better, again, quality of life. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. I'll say that my clinical interest is really longevity, and that's the focus in medicine of how do I get you to live to be 100+ years old and still doing everything that a 40-year-old self of you was doing to a reasonable degree.
Mm-hmm.
Independent living, functioning, good, healthy mind. And part of going through the learning process on that, most of what I was kind of learning seemed to go along well with reversing obesity. And so that led me down the path of getting the American Board of Obesity Medicine certification, which is another board certification on top of my Family Med board certification.
Well, obesity, we're such a country of such, how do I want to put this? We're a little spoiled, I guess is what I'm going to try to just throw away the terminology here and say, folks who live here in the U.S., we're a little bit spoiled in some ways because we have all the food to our disposal that we want for the most part. Now, there's people who don't have. We know we have food pantries and we have needs there. But even in that case, people who are having trouble with their incomes don't eat very well either because they're buying more fast food because it's cheaper than putting together a big meal on the table sometimes. So you have a multi level of different issues out there, don't you?
Yeah, there's definitely way too many issues to cover in one sitting.
Okay.
And yeah, even though we have access to all the food we could ever want, the problem is most of the cheapest food is the food that's probably worst for your health.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why you can look at several studies that show adopting a Western diet will increase your health disparity and how poorly your health is. And they've seen that in countries that previously had their cultural food heritage and adopting more Western diet. As soon as more Western diet comes in, high salt, high amounts of saturated fat, less plant-based, whole food-based foods, that country will then start suffering the same health consequences.
Sweeteners and all that sort of thing, and
definitely sugar and easy digested carbohydrates. The white bread or the easy already processed flours.
Mm-hmm.
Those kind of things definitely make it. It's kind of like adding instead of fuel to the fire, more like dynamite to the fire.
Wow. So Western diet in this neck of the woods. Let's face it, we love some of the things that you've talked about. And one of the things that you hear sometimes when people are trying to eat healthy, they say, well, I can't eat that. Anything that tastes good, I can't have, right? But that's not the case. Can you kind of explain what you would recommend to somebody who was maybe overweight? Maybe, I know exercise is huge. Where do you start with a person when you sit down and start talking to them?
Yeah. I like to put this in the context of kind of a model that maybe people can understand, and that's maybe building a house or a building.
Mm-hmm.
You don't start with the foundation. As much as people want to say the foundation, you start before the foundation, the groundwork, the dirt work. And the dirt work that lays in a good blueprint for us to build a healthy foundation is all the things that, are mentioned in passing but probably deserve more attention. Diet, exercise, psychology and your own mental health, spiritual health, if you have that side of you that you like to address. So there's a lot of those things where you got to lay in the dirt work before you can really start building a healthier lifestyle.
So it's not all about just changing one thing. It's about changing your mindset all the way to your eating habits, to how your mind works. I think you talked about this last time about how, I think you compared maybe a particular food to being addicted to a drug. It's your brain kind of works that way, right?
Absolutely. That's another part of it. If anyone wants to be nerdy and look it up, it's the POMC and the NPY circuitry in the hypothalamus. And basically, those neural pathways are the exact same that you would see affected by someone who's addicted to meth, cocaine, or any other hardcore drug. So yeah, there is a big potential for addiction component as well. And it's really hard to have something that you need to survive, food, that you can also be addicted to and somehow limit that.
yeah, it's a challenge. And sometimes I think back, you can tell by looking at me, I've been around a while, but I remember back going to school, and it was kind of unusual to have someone who was overweight. I'm talking back in the 1960s when I was in elementary school. You might have one or two of your fellow students that were heavier, and nowadays that's not the case. There's a lot more young people that are overweight, and you used to think that wouldn't be the case with kids. Is that just because of the way us as parents and adults are feeding our kids, our lifestyles?
I never really want to point a finger to blame. I think blame is something that we get into this shame spiral, and we never really give ourselves the opportunity to accept forgiveness of, things that we don't do perfectly, and then climb back out, so to speak.
Okay.
But what I would say is, there is a big component of, number one, how our diet has changed to a lot more processed foods and heavily processed foods. And getting away from more of the whole vegetable, the whole homemade meal that was from scratch. And so I think that's a part of it. The other part of it, too, is especially in our neck of the woods, back in those days, if you were, a teenager, you probably were doing some kind of work on the farm or the ranch or some other means where you had to stay pretty active.
Right.
The other thing, too, is that we had a more active culture to some degree at that time, too. We didn't have as much TV viewing and computer sitting and checking your phone instead of looking up and going out and exploring the world. So definitely the less activity is a big part of it, too.
Mm-hmm. So if we're kind of catching people's interest out there, maybe it isn't about obesity. They just want to change the way they want to have that long life you're talking about, that quality of life. Where would they start? Would they call the clinic, set up a time, and then would you just sit down and have a long conversation about what that person is looking for better health through the things you're talking about?
Yeah. When you're looking to have truly a clinically based lifestyle change and trying to treat obesity, or just trying to make sure you are doing what you can to be as healthy as you possibly can, and you want that from me specifically, you can just go to clickfamilyhealth.com, and we actually have a patient sign up, and you just sign up as my patient, and then when we contact you, after you put in your information, your medical history, your medicines, etc., then you'll be able to tell me, hey, are you wanting me to discuss obesity and healthy lifestyle, or, buzzword longevity?
Mm-hmm.
Then all we do is we get that program set up for you. I think it's up to 12-page document now that you fill out.
Wow.
But really, I want it to be very specialized to the person. And I think anyone who's gone through that process right now would say, yeah, it's not an easy thing to fill that out, because you actually have to do some introspective who am I?
Taking a look.
And then also really looking at your daily habits and what am I doing that maybe we need to look at as a good change.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that would be something most anybody would be interested in. I guess one of the things that I think people wonder, maybe I'm not feeling as good as I used to, or maybe I feel good for a while and then I don't feel good. And I don't know how to explain feel good. I'm just thinking about talking with different people of different ages. At a particular age, you don't have that cycle, but as you get a little bit older, you go, well, why am I feeling really doggy today and I don't feel real good? Is it exercise? Is it diet? Do I need to sit down with Dr. Pearson and do a physical and go through and find out maybe all the different elements that might be cause me not to feel great some of the time? Could be a heart issue, I suppose, that you would find or something like that. Do you sit down and go through all of that with your folks to find out their general health before you start?
Yeah, definitely. That's where going through the sign-up process on our website allows you to put in a lot of that background information that then will kind of key me into health-wise where you're at, or where you've been. But then we still go even further on that side and start, looking at what are your habits. In particular, sleep, diet, exercise, your mental health and well-being. Those are some of the biggest components to how are you going to be feeling and functioning each day.
Now, my brother, my co-host, my neighbor and friend right here across from you there, Brent Amperson, he just turned 51 yesterday, and I think he has some psychological issues that he has to deal with. Could you help him with that?
A lot of those issues happen between 7:30 and 9:30 Monday through Friday. But I do have a question for you. When it comes to, we're talking about diet and everything, there's so many things on the internet. If you Google, I want to live healthier, or, for example, I'll just say, my doctor said, Brent, you really need to look at a low-fat diet. Well, I don't know where to start. So you Google a low-fat diet. Well, there's so many different things out there. Can you just talk a little bit about maybe, I assume maybe someone's got to be a little careful if you just go to the internet as opposed to going to someone who can sit down and find out the type of person you are.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Because no one diet is superior. And they've seen that with weight loss studies, as well as cardiac health studies. It all depends on what your disease profile is, what is most afflicting you at the time. If you're a diabetic, I'd say a low-fat diet is probably the last thing I want you to be on. Mm-hmm. If you have what's called central adiposity, or fat that's depositing around your organs, visceral fat, that by definition means you are starting to become more insulin resistant, which is kind of the first step in becoming a diabetic. Mm. And so for those people, I'd say, no, that's the exact opposite advice of what I want you to do. Low-fat diet means you have to substitute that with something. Mm-hmm. If it's all proteins, you're not going to feel very good, and that's not very healthy for you either. But even worse, if it's carbohydrates, you're adding, again, more nitroglycerin or fuel to that fire of what's going to push you into diabetes. And I think that's where, and I don't want to knock any primary care doctors because, I was in that role, and it's a darn hard role to try and treat you in 15 minutes and give you the information that you need. Mm-hmm. And then it's darn hard to do that after 30 to 40 patients in the clinic, go home and actually start looking into a lot of these things and the data behind it to say what is real, not real, what is good, not good. And so I think that's where the extra training from the obesity medicine board and that process has allowed me to dive into some of that data a lot more and look at those studies and say, okay, what's actually the best thing for each individual person? And there's a couple key components that's going to come down to that. What's your disease profile? And then what can you sustainably do? Because if I go and I tell you, I want you to be on an 1,800 calorie a day diet, never stray outside of that, never have a single drop of sugar, that's not going to last very long. But, and there's a saying that I always like to reinforce my patients is when it comes to things you like that aren't very good for you in the diet realm, dose equals poison. So if you eat a 2-ounce slice of pie, Probably not going to affect you too bad, depending on how your exercise level's been that day and what you've had the few days before. You ate a half a pie, okay, you're probably going to have some poison effect from that. And the other thing too is looking at, where you're sitting at a baseline, because someone who's a long distance runner or someone who's exercising an hour every day, yeah, they could probably eat that half a pie and they're not going to have much effect from it because their body is optimized to burn those calories, utilize them, and get rid of it in a way that's not going to build up as fat around your organs. Versus someone who maybe doesn't do that, even 2 ounces might be too much. And so I think that's where, with my training and what I try to do for patients, is design a program that's going to work for them to reach a goal and then allow them to still live and enjoy life. And to go back to that point earlier, yeah, I'm not a fan of elimination, because elimination means you're going to have an exit strategy and you're not going to stick with it. But if you limit things, then you can long-term sustain that change in your life to make a big health difference. And I think, this is no different than investing. One small change today will make a giant change in your health status 30 years from now. One giant change today will not make a hill of beans difference probably in the next 2 weeks. So there really is this, you got to look at the long term and not just try and go for a quick fix. If you want quick fix, you can try Jenny Craig and all these other diet programs and sell me $300 of products a month to try and get me to lose weight. You can do that. But the studies would just show that you're going to pay $100 per pound lost. You're going to pay $1,000 per pound maintained.
Maintained's a big deal, yeah.
Exactly. And so I think the program that I want to set up for people is, how do I make this a long-term solution for you that still allows you to have the life you want?
Wow. I knew this was going to be interesting, but it's even more interesting than I thought it was going to be. That because everybody out there who's listening, in one way or another, can go, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've been there, been on a diet and it didn't work, or I exercised for a while and I expected results in a shorter period of time than it would have taken to really see the results. You start a exercise program and you think that in a couple weeks, as you mentioned, you should start seeing all these improvements, and it's all about patience and continuing to be consistent with it, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I'll add an anecdote, which those are worth, as much as you pay for them.
Yeah.
But for myself, yeah, I can get so nerdy into this that I look at my biking and how much power output I have on my bike, and I can tell you, trying to go from my baseline when I wasn't working out very much of 1.5 kilojoules per kilogram, so just a measure of how much power per my body weight.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me a month and a half before I actually got that to start moving up.
Even moving.
Yeah, and if you think about it, when you weightlift, you get some initial muscle strength just from your nerves and your muscle connecting well. You get a little stronger pretty quickly. But then you hit that month plateau where you're actually, what you're now trying to do is push your muscle into growing and getting stronger. And it's no different with obesity treatment, with health. You're not going to see these big changes right away. And I think that's true of any habit in life. But setting up those small, sustainable habits that you can maintain for a long term, such as a year or 10 years, all of a sudden you get this compound interest effect. And you'll look 10 years down the road, you'll look back and say, oh yeah, that really did make a huge difference in how I feel compared to maybe some of my peers who didn't make that change. And they're getting their knees replaced. They're getting pretty sick. They have about 4 cardiologist medications and diabetic medications. So I think that's what I want to set up for people is how do we keep you the healthiest person you can be for the long run?
All right. So they can talk to you about that in depth for that particular person's needs by getting a hold of the clinic, setting up time to visit with you and get started.
Yep. That's clickfamilyhealth.com. You can go on there and there's a patient sign up button and start entering your information. Just select me if you're wanting to talk about longevity or obesity medicine or even primary care. I still do a lot of primary care.
All right.
Or you can call us at 308-708-7631.
Okay. And do you have to be a member? I think maybe Dr. Jacobson mentioned this before, to get started, or can they come and talk to you about how you're going to set things up?
Yeah, we can have that phone conversation, and you can see if it's right for you. But ultimately, to get treatment and to have my services professionally, you have to be a member.
Okay.
No different than if you want your oil changed. Well, your mechanic's probably going to want to have your car in the shop.
Yep, there you go. All right. Hey, thanks for coming in. I hope you'll come back and see us and talk to us about whatever you want to talk about. But this has been really interesting. I think we could go into one portion of this conversation and do another whole show.
I think, you could get so specific down to diet, and then within diet, fats, and then within fats, omega-3 fatty acids. And I think you could do a whole show on each small little topic.
Each one. Exercise. We haven't even talked about sleep, where that falls in. I'm sure maybe sleep gets better as you get into the program, but sometimes I think people have sleeping problems due to some of the other things we've talked about. So,
yeah, I think the latest study I saw was somewhere between 75 and 80% of people probably are not getting the quality and amount of sleep that would be sufficient for the best health.
All right. Another subject.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Click Family Health Care here in Broken Bow, and of course also in Kearney, Nebraska. We've been talking with Dr. Jacob Peterson this morning and look forward to having him back. We'll be back right after these words.
Hey everyone, do you know what time it is? It's tuxedo time! Yes, prom season is right around the corner and wedding season is right behind. We've new styles and great colors to choose from for prom, plus we'll give $10 back to your after prom party for each tux rented. If you're planning a wedding this year, register at Chapin's for a 10% discount on the entire wedding party with 5 paid tuxes. We're ready to make your event extra special and you'll look your best. It's Chapin's, downtown Broken Bow.
Stay up to date on your bank accounts no matter where your schedule takes you. Sign up for mobile or online banking with Bruning Bank to keep track of your accounts anywhere, anytime. At home, the gym, grocery store, day or night. Deposit checks, transfer between accounts, view transactions, and check balances. Set up bill pay so you never forget to pay a bill ever again. Ready to simplify your life? Download the app or visit bruningbank.com. Bruning Bank, member FDIC.
At the Callaway Good Life Center, their hometown facility offers the security and comfort of a small town with the advantages of city living. They offer speech, occupational, and physical therapy for their residents. Visit CallawayGoodLife.com for more information.
Guys, suddenly I was afraid to ask Dr. Jacob Peterson about olives. I don't want to go there with olives, but maybe next time when he comes back, I'll confess.
All right.
We'll take a time out, little news, and then we'll be back for the last half hour of the show.
Winter clearance savings continue to rise at Bo Bootery, your home-owned shoe store. There's definitely some winter left, so save on these things that you can wear right now. 40% off of winter shoes, snow boots, bear paws, and fashion boots. And to go with them, socks, leggings, and tights are marked down too. Thurlow and Dan Post socks are $5 per pack. Overboots are half off, and some Western boots are on sale as well. Oh man, these savings are so sweet. Winter clearance 40% off going on right now at Bo Bootery.
Ace Hardware in Broken Bow has new owners. Joe and Liz Franzen took over in November of this past year and have continued working hard to serve you with great tool brands like Steel and Milwaukee, plus paints from Clark and Kensington, including primer all-in-one that can be computer matched with your color preference. Of course, plumbing and electrical supplies are in stock too. New hours alert. As of February 1st, they are open Monday to Friday, 7:30 until 6, and Saturday, 8 until 4. Open earlier and staying open until 6 to better serve you at Ace Hardware in Broken Bow.
There's a difference between treating the pain and treating the problem. At Pearson Physical Therapy, we strive to not only reduce your pain, but actually treat the underlying cause so that you remain pain-free, even after you finish physical therapy. If you're frustrated by pain that keeps coming back, Pearson Physical Therapy can give you the tools that will keep you moving pain-free. Call Pearson's in Broken Bow at 308-872-5800 or check us out on the web at pearsonpt.com. Get the treatment you need and the care you deserve at Pearson Physical Therapy.
listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. Russia's announced it's moving some troops away from the Ukrainian border, but military exercises continue elsewhere. NATO Secretary Jens Stoltenberg warns
everything is now in place for a new attack.
Vladimir Putin says Russia is ready to continue talks on missiles. Putting a doping scandal behind her, 15-year-old Russian skater Kamila Valieva is in first after the women's short program at the Winter Olympics. CBS's Steve Futterman's in Beijing.
Her first jump, she did land awkwardly, but after that, she seemed to perform very well, and she received an excellent score. So if there were nerves, it was apparent early, but after that, she seemed to perform very, very smoothly.
Novak Djokovic tells the BBC he will not get vaccinated against COVID, even if it costs him the Grand Slam.
The principles of decision-making on my body are more important than any title.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Isaac Lowenkron.
In the NBA, Shams Charania reported a short time ago that veteran guard Goran Dragic has agreed to a contract buyout with the San Antonio Spurs and is entering free agency. On the floor on Monday night, the Brooklyn Nets broke their 11-game losing streak with a 109-85 win over the Sacramento Kings. Seth Curry had 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. Andre Drummond had 11 points and 9 rebounds in their Brooklyn debuts. The Oklahoma City Thunder defeated the Knicks in overtime at Madison Square Garden, 127-123. Rookie Josh Giddey became the youngest player in NBA history with back-to-back triple-doubles. He had 28 points, 11 rebounds, and 12 assists. Fellow rookie Trey Mann scored 30. DeMar DeRozan scored 40 as the Bulls beat the Spurs 120-109. Chicago on a 4-game winning streak.
Here's your weatherology forecast. High temperatures working up to 60 degrees for today, while partly sunny skies. Winds a bit breezy from the south. Then for tonight, mostly cloudy and breezy, winds turning to the north around 15 to 20 miles per hour, low temperatures dropping back into the lower 20s. For Wednesday, returning to the mid-30s for highs, a slight chance for some light snow into the afternoon. For the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Michael Carroll.
News and weather was brought to you today by Custer Electric and Irrigation in Broken Bow. Custer Electric and Irrigation, your local Zematic by Lindsay dealer, has the offerings you're looking for this winter to prepare for next year. As you know, every season brings new focuses. Here are theirs right now. Specials on driveline conversions, sprinkler packages, and winter maintenance specials to name a few. If you've worked with Custer Electric and Irrigation in the past, you know that they want to get you taken care of the right way at the best price possible. They encourage you to get the work you need done scheduled as soon as possible because prices are rapidly increasing for a lot of supplies. Plus, that schedule book can only get so full. Don't forget licensed electrical work you might need done too on ag, commercial, and residential applications. Ask for a free quote. Custer Electric and Irrigation, your local Zematic by Lindsay dealer in Broken Bow, serving the whole area with electrical, agricultural, and commercial services. Call today at 872-7786. Follow them on Facebook or visit custerei.com. Custer Electric and Irrigation. Experience the difference.
28 degrees outside, some cloud cover out there. Pretty nice day all in all so far. Brent, I'm sorry. You know, this is Kindness Week. I believe that started yesterday, and I didn't really mean to throw you under the bus just because you turned 51 and accusing you of having psychological problems. But on the other hand, you came back and said that the psychological problems that you have are created during the breakfast show, and that kind of hurts too. So
I'm sorry, Dave. I'd like to take that comment back.
I'll take mine back.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks, bro. Hey, Mom, how you doing? Thank you for the one. Oh, I got to tell you, the candy that your mom, I think it's probably better than yours.
I don't know.
Oh, man.
I got turtles.
I got truffles.
Oh, man. Yeah, love the pecan turtle.
Oh, those are good.
They are very good.
Yeah, truffles with a little, you just bite into them and there's, yeah. Ooh, I hope Dr. Peterson isn't listening.
Yeah, right. Did you eat those along with your olives last night? That had to be a good combination.
No, I ate about half of the truffles, what's left on my desk.
Oh.
I had them for a snack yesterday. Thank you, Mom. Appreciate it. How's Jim? So I'm thinking maybe next year Jim will probably jump in and my Valentine will be as big as yours. Anyway, Ohio, do you ever think about, now this is going to be a strange question, but let me just ask you this ahead of time. And you folks out there are the same. Do you ever put ice fishing and prostitution together?
Well, no, I guess not.
I never
I
had
can't wait
either.
to hear this story, though, after that lead-in.
Well, a mayor in Ohio, this was on the other day, and I thought, well, I'm not going to bring it up because that's kind of weird, ice fishing and prostitution. But now they have an updated story on it. He quit after he received so much criticism for saying, this is what a mayor in Ohio who warned that ice fishing can lead to prostitution has quit his job. Now, don't worry, it's not like he actually did anything. The mayor of Hudson, Ohio is mostly ceremonial, so he isn't like a real, doesn't have a lot of power. But he just made the comment. The former TV reporter, he was a former TV reporter, angered a lot of people when he suggested that allowing ice fishing shanties in the local park would attract prostitution. Now, he thought he was just trying to be funny. And no one's buying that. He says he was just trying to be funny, but no one's buying that. So he's getting so much criticism, he's just going to quit. But
okay.
I wouldn't have ever put that together.
No.
I mean, I know ice fishermen enough to know that they would not be interested in that when they're ice fishing.
I was just gonna say, yeah, ice fishing, that's a serious thing, man.
You're after the panfish.
That's right.
You're not interested in anything like that. We should probably ask Dr. Peterson about this. There's a French fries scented perfume now.
A perfume that is scented like French fries.
Yeah. And they introduced it just before Valentine's Day, and the entire stock that they had created sold out in 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. You open up your Valentine's Day gift, and you find a bottle of perfume. You open it up, and it smells like French fries.
Huh.
Yeah. But here's another little tidbit of information. It's all about marketing, and this was actually created by the Idaho Potato Commission.
Oh, there you go.
They come up with this idea, and so they put it online. It's called, French fried perfume. It's for $1.89 online. That wasn't very expensive. Sold out in a couple hours. And yes, it does really smell like fries, if that's what you're into.
I would be attracted to that aroma. I love the smell of French fries.
Well, it kind of goes to what the doc was saying. French fries are one of those foods that click that little trigger in your brain that he was talking about, that addictive trigger. French fries. I think potato chips are a lot like that as well. The last time we played a song from a long time ago, Mike Evans came in and he was like, that wasn't, I think it was a Louis Armstrong. What was the song about swing?
Ain't got that thing if you ain't got that swing.
Yeah. The version wasn't, so I'm not going to try to play this one, but I do think this is a good one that I could have played. I think we have it back on, we used to have it in vinyl in the back. Duke Ellington's band, Take the A Train. Was released 81 years ago today. The Beatles, 58 years ago today, became the first act to have 5 songs on the Billboard Hot 100. They were I Want to Hold Your Hand, She Loves You, I Saw Her Standing There, My Bonnie, which some people don't remember, and Please, Please Me. Those 5 were on the top charts all at the same time. 58 years ago today.
Has that ever been done since? An artist having 5 songs in the top 100 at the same time?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Just going to be honest about it. I could have lied to you and said, there's no way, but I don't know.
Yeah.
5 would be a lot.
That is a lot
on the top charts, but there might have been some other.
And with the way I'm assuming that songs were released in a different manner back then than they are now. Lots of times, the way songs are released anyway, you know, a single will be released and then it gets a lot of airtime before another one will get released.
Yeah.
You know,
and they released singles to radio stations to get airtime.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, a lot of the singles came off albums, you know, that were released.
Of course, I mean, I guess I don't know how they do the charts anymore. I was told, maybe it was you telling me this, that a lot of it has to do now with the amount of times a song has been downloaded, or something. So, I mean, if that's the case, then maybe it is the opposite way, and maybe it's easier to get a song on the chart now, while you have one on the chart.
Yeah, I think what happens a lot of times, it's kind of the same thing when I think about it. If you had a number one hit, they played it, about the radio stations would play it once every 2 hours or less, right?
Oh, yes. Hey, Achy Breaky Heart would be an example.
And pop music, what they call pop music today, if you listen to a pop music station, they do the same thing. If you're driving, my grandson used to like to listen to pop music, so we'd go down the roadway and we'd hear the song, and then before you knew it, we were hearing the song again. And that is kind of the same measurement for music online, because, you know, if you've got kids doing it and they like that song, they're going to download that song over and over again and listen to it. And so that counts that way. So it has changed a lot. In some ways, it's the same.
But still, back then, 5 songs in the top 100 at the same time, that was
huge.
Quite an achievement.
Yeah, it was big. I guess that's all the tidbits of information, ice fishing and prostitution and that sort of thing. But he's no longer the mayor.
Okay.
Did want to talk a little bit about an event coming up this weekend. We had Alan Bartles in just a short time ago on The Breakfast Show. He's the information specialist for Lower Loop NRD, and he's inviting you to come to the Great Backyard Bird Count this Saturday, February 19th from 10 a.m. until noon. And this will be over at Ord, Nebraska, at the Arboretum, and it's adjacent to the office in Ord and right next to the park. They've got a plot of land there with trees, and they're going to do a 2-hour get-together to host the Great Backyard Bird Count on Saturday at Ord. And we'd love to have folks go over there. It runs from 10 a.m. until 12 noon. And then don't forget about his photo contest as well. That's going on. I think he told us there's 250 entries last he checked on the photo contest, and you can send in your photos if you're anywhere within the Lower Loop NRD, and that's a very big area of property. So you can go to Lower Loop NRD's website and find the photo contest and send your photos.
There you go.
I'd like to talk a little bit about the Tumbleweed Cafe for a moment, if I could.
Well, I'm always happy to join you in that conversation.
But what I need to do is just dream for a moment.
Oh, okay.
About chicken fried steak. So while we dream about chicken fried steak, we'd like you to listen to David Allen Coe. And we'll come back and tell you about how you can enjoy chicken fried steak with white gravy over the top. There I go. I got started. Here's David Allen Coe.
We'll give you a chance to win a $25 gift card.
And encourage you to shop local at the same time.
And now, folks, you know why we do the giveaway at the very end of the show. Because we're like, well, this will force them to have to listen to us, and then we'll give them a chance to win something.
Yeah, maybe you thought talking about a doghouse that's worth $300,000 with a space rock that went through it for another $80,000 wasn't that interesting. But we thought you might hang with us.
Yeah, but you've endured that because you want to win a $25 gift card. So that's good.
We like to pass along pertinent information such as this.
Okay.
And this is going to kind of floor you. A student at a college basketball game hit a nearly impossible shot during the contest. The student had to try and hit a half-court shot while blindfolded.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The student hit the shot, sending the arena into an uproar at the Thomas University in Minnesota. Now, you'd think if you had something like that, you'd be playing for, like, free tuition or something, some big prize.
Yeah.
Or a new car or anything cool like that. But he received a hat.
That was it?
Yeah.
He hits a half-court shot blindfolded.
Yeah.
And so the prize is a new ball cap.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'm with you. Well, I know that ESPN does like their college game day for basketball, and I think that they give people a student an opportunity to hit a half-court shot, but they win, like you said, like a year's tuition or something like that. They're not blindfolded.
Yeah.
So he did all of that, and he got a ball cap.
Got a cap.
Boy, you think they could have thrown in maybe a popcorn and a candy bar, too, or something. I mean, gee whiz.
Add insult to injury. You have a bag of popcorn.
How about a T-shirt and a hat?
Good grief. Maybe he would have been more happy if he would have received a certificate to the Tumbleweed Cafe in Broken Bow for a tumbleweed meal, or maybe a trip to the Tumbleweed for chicken fried steak with mashed potatoes and white gravy over all of it, or French fries on the side, or one of the other wonderful menu items that they have at the Tumbleweed in Broken Bow. And you don't have to shoot a half-court shot to go in and enjoy those meals.
No.
You just go in, sit down, they'll take care of you. And they have daily specials at noon in the evening. They have the buffet on Sundays, which is a super big hit. And you can take advantage of their party room. It's a spacious room with tables and chairs and kitchen counters in there, so you can have coffee and cake and that sort of thing. And, of course, Carmen and the crew will bring in the meal if you like, if you're having a meeting, wedding reception, birthday party, anniversary, whatever. It's there for you, and it's reasonably priced to rent. So they are ready for you out at the Tumbleweed. Don't forget the drive-through. You can call ahead and drive through and pick it up. Or you can also, they have a digital card now that you can use. They got the best of both worlds there. They got the good old-fashioned cafe service, or you can think of it as a drive-through or a buffet on Sundays. They'll take care of you at the Tumbleweed 7 days a week, East Highway 2 in Broken Bow, Nebraska. Now, it is February, and it's a shorter month than some of the others, so I guess the third Thursday of the month comes up quicker in some ways. Seems like it comes up quick anyway, but that's okay because that means you're going to be able to go to Rustic and Red and Cozad quicker and enjoy the Sip and Shop.
There you go. Yeah, it's this week, third Thursday, at Rustic and Red in Cozad. 10 to 7 is when they'll be open on Thursday. You'll find great sales throughout their beautiful store all day. And then from 4 to 7, Yvette Mannon, who I think was here in the studio yesterday talking to Emily about a new children's book that she has written called Cookie, Where Are You? Yvette's going to be at a book signing at Rustic and Red in Cozad, and she'll be there from 4 to 7. I know a lot of people in the area know Yvette, and so an opportunity for you to go visit with her and find out more about the book. Also, spring and Easter decor arriving daily, plus new apparel from your favorites, Liverpool and Tribal. Sipping on Thursday will start at 4 o'clock, but again, specials run all day. So join them on Thursday this week for their monthly Sip and Shop at Rustic and Red in downtown Cozad.
More right after these words.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness? Modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Breaking news. Nebraska Farm Bureau endorses Republican Jim Pillen. Here's Mark McHarg, president of Nebraska Farm Bureau.
Hi, this is Mark McHarg. Nebraska Farm Bureau is proud to endorse conservative Republican Jim Pillen. Jim's agricultural roots run deep. He understands the challenges facing farm and ranch families because he's one of us. Jim Pillen has a proven record of results, building a successful, family-owned business right here in Nebraska, creating more than 1,000 Nebraska jobs. And Jim has always defended our family values. Jim is a conservative who will fight to fix our broken tax code, control spending, grow our economy, and create a more prosperous future for all Nebraskans. Jim Pillen has the integrity, experience, and vision needed to keep Nebraska great and help our ag producers succeed. Join Nebraska Farm Bureau members in supporting Jim Pillen for governor.
Paid for by Jim Pillen for governor.
I was going off there for a moment. Sorry, Brent.
It's okay.
Well, two things. Okay. I'm just going to tell you what I was talking with. That nose Navage thing is just driving.
That advertisement bothers you, doesn't it?
I don't really think it's necessary to talk about mucus and that stuff. Make it sound like it's like you're going into a sauna or, like it's supposed to be some sort of real pleasurable thing to blow your nose out with whatever you put in there.
But, folks, you don't get to see Dave's reaction when that advertisement comes on. It does. It bothers you. Yeah.
And the other thing that's bothering me is all these ads for governor. Can't we, just to mix it up a little bit for the ads, I don't know whether they would get elected or not, but can't we have somebody in there that's slightly conservative or an independent or something like that? We've got, what do we have, 12 conservative Republicans? I don't know how many there are. They all run together. Oh, sorry.
Easy, Dave. What else would you like to talk about? You know what you need? You need to go to Prairie Grounds Cafe and just have a nice, soothing drink and just chill. That's what you need.
You sound like the guy for the nose commercial there.
Well, Prairie Grounds Cafe and Gifts, folks. It's a great place to go because during the month of February, these are the featured drinks. You can enjoy a cherry mocha, a nuts and berries steamer. That's a mixture of raspberry and hazelnut. French vanilla hot chocolate, the Snuggle Chai, mixture of vanilla chai and caramel. Also this month featuring the passion fruit latte and cherry lime Italian soda. Prairie Grounds Cafe and Gifts in Broken Bow, open Monday through Friday, 7 to 2, open Saturday from 8 till 1. Also, don't forget, it's a great place to go for lunch. They have some great lunch specials available each and every day. So we encourage you to check out Prairie Grounds Cafe and Gifts in Broken Bow. Make sure you like them and follow them on Facebook, too. They keep you updated with a lot of things that they do at the store on their Facebook page at Prairie Grounds Cafe.
Oh, Kathy Eberly is here to do her recording. Has she heard the new liner for the breakfast show?
I don't know if she has or not. I believe her sister has heard it, though.
Who's helping Kathy? Can you tell?
I don't know. I can't see.
I'm going to look.
Okay. Well, while Dave goes out and looks, we'll let you know that Nebraska Owners Insurance Agency is ready to help you. They just added another farm casualty ag commercial company that is very competitive in our area. They'd love to visit with you about it. Also, they're working with a new experienced crop agent, Tracy Hasselbrook, and currently working with rain and hail and NAU for 2022 coverage. So visit with them about that. They're always ready to visit with you and review anything you need them to about your insurance needs. So contact Chip and Liana there at the Callaway office. The number there is 836-2201. And, of course, recently Tim Troxel has joined their team with Nebraska Owners Insurance Agency. Tim at his office here in Broken Bow, 872-6996 is the number there for Nebraska Owners Insurance Agency.
I'd like to add to that live read.
Okay, Dave.
For Nebraska Owners Insurance Agency.
Mm-hmm.
Chip's no dip. He's hip.
He is.
He knows his insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Liana knows her insurance, and she's hotter than a plate of lasagna.
Yeah. One of these days, I'm going to see Liana, and I'm just going to ask her, are you okay with Dave saying that?
Well, she's a former employee. She's still under contract here.
Oh. Okay. So what was the so did you visit with Kathy? What's going on there?
Well,
you stepped out into the hallway.
I didn't know Christy was helping her record.
Oh. Well, that was nice. Christy's her sister, so that seems fitting.
Christy is Kathy is Christy's younger sister, but I thought, it'd be nice if Kathy could hear the liner that Jeremy's putting together.
Oh,
for breakfast
I see.
Show promotion.
Okay.
With Christy in it.
Yeah. Oh, Christy's heard it, so
yeah,
it's okay.
Okay.
You can play it.
Right. Well, I'd rather play this.
Oh. years of experience. Do you struggle with your hearing and or worry about missing out on conversations with family and friends at gatherings? Well, if so, stop in to see Roxanne. She can help. Also offering some great things now, like free hearing evaluation and free office calls, free extended warranties on new hearing aids, extended discounts for just buying local. And Roxanne says she will meet any pricing quoted from other offices in the state of Nebraska. There's no need to travel outside of Custer County because Roxanne sells the top technology available in the world right here in Broken Bow. So set up your appointment today. Here's the number to call. Listen close. Get ready. Write it down. 308-384-3852. Again, it's 308-384-3852 for the Nebraska Land Hearing Center. Their office is located in the Broken Bow Chamber Building in downtown Broken Bow.
I wonder if there's such a thing as a Navage party where people get together and sit around the table and all Navage at the same time.
I don't know. Great question, though, Dave. Hey, Dave.
Yeah, what?
The cleaning shack is right here in Broken Bow to help with your dry cleaning. And if you need something dry cleaned, drop it off by tomorrow at 11:30. Cleaning shack is located inside the quilting shack on East Highway 2 in Broken Bow. Drop-off deadline is tomorrow by 11:30. Then you can have it back the following Wednesday by 3. As always, at the quilting shack, they have a great variety of projects and material available. Fun classes are coming soon, so make sure to follow them on Facebook to find out what's coming. Don't forget they can quilt your completed quilts for you with their beautiful and wonderful machine. Stop in and talk to Susie and the girls, and they can help you with your project from beginner to advanced. They've got great advice to give. The Quilting Shack, open Tuesday through Friday, 11 to 5:30. Open Saturday, 11 until 4. And again, if you want to get your dry cleaning in for this week, drop-off deadline is tomorrow by 11:30.
Thanks, Brent.
Mm-hmm.
Just thinking.
Okay. I'm glad. I'm glad you're thinking, Dave.
I'm just thinking if, there's people who get together and they net, or crochet, and like the quilting shack, they get together and make these beautiful quilts. And, there's, I know my mom goes to Bible study during the week, and people get together and play cards.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some 10-point pitch. Bridge is big.
Mm-hmm.
Poker. Get together and play board games. Wouldn't there be a group of people get together and just sit around the table and do Navage?
Well, maybe. I don't know. You could start a group, Dave. Where's Dave at? I'm sorry, he's with his Navage group.
I wouldn't want to call it a Navage jam, but you got to have another name besides group. I guess Navage party might work.
Okay.
Yeah, and just could we just get a candidate out there that would run and just say, I'm conservative, but I'm slightly conservative, or I don't know, a libertarian, or I know.
Well, yeah, but this is, correct me if I'm wrong, and I sure could be, but this is kind of isn't the primary coming up?
Yeah.
So, that's kind of why you've got Republicans running against Republicans to get the party's nomination.
Yeah.
So
I understand that.
Okay.
I understand. I would just be nice to have a little, I don't know, just something a little different.
Oh, okay. Well,
Anyway, here's Waylon Willie and Me.
I heard the burritos out in California.
5:30, and you can listen to it. It'll be radio only for Broken Bow on KCNI 1280 AM, 96.3